You're almost out of oxygen. Terrifying creatures are on your tail. You have 2 bullets left. Your mask is fogged with blood and sludge, inhibiting your vision. You don't know where you're going or how much ammo you have left, but all you know is that you don't want to be where you are right now. This is how I would sum up Metro 2033. Now that I have played through Metro Last Light, let's see if this new installment in the Metro series does anything different than its predecessor. The environment is some of the best work to come out of the industry in years. The eerie and abandoned feeling is one that Last Light nails, from the toxic and sledge-filled surface to the rat-infested dark and cold tunnels. Last Light gives the feeling of loneliness and a feeling you are always being watched by something. Towards the middle of the game, you come to an underground city made of docks and shantytowns called Venice. In Venice, you see kids fishing in toxic waters, catching mutated fish dangling with legs and arms. These little touches add so much to Metro Last Light's atmosphere and make the environment come to life. I'd go as far to say as I was getting flashbacks of BioShock Infinite levels of detail here. Besides the environment, the sound design fuels the ambience in Metro Last Light. Whether it's scurrying sounds you hear behind you in the tunnels or the acid rain falling when you're running around on the surface. Last Light pushes the limits on industry-leading audio, with its dripping sounds in abandoned tunnels, chatter in the populated post-apocalyptic towns, or the sound of gunfire. The sound delivers that ominous feeling of dread. Marry this with the grungy yet vibrant visual style, and it's a very believable world. One would think that post-apocalyptic means all dark with no color, but this isn't the case. There are vibrant greens and reds everywhere. The visuals do a good job at evoking that depressing feeling a person should have running around in an abandoned world. Where Last Light fails to impress in the visual department is the constant screen tearing and horrible frame rate issues. These aren't enough to stop someone from playing, but they are noticeable, and it does take away from one's immersion in the otherwise beautiful world. One of the most frustrating things in Last Light is the thought of what could have been. The awful boss battles which make no sense were thrown into the narrative, or the easy workarounds of enemies like vents which let you skip whole 10-minute sections of the game make for a frustrating experience. One thing I applaud 4A for doing is integrating stealth as a larger part of the game. My only issue is that they have done too much in the stealth department. Things such as the previously mentioned vent sections make the game almost feel too easy. 4A did do an awesome job on giving the players the choice on whether or not they want to do things as cut the lights and sneak around, or go in guns ablazing when ammo is scarce and the guns are rusty. Another aspect of Last Light which is disappointing is how many different tropes it borrows from other AAA titles. Things such as slow-motion door breaches reminiscent of Call of Duty or Battlefield, to random lap dances from strippers a la Duke Nukem. Neither of these matter to the story or you, and the final boss battle, which is comically awful. 4A had the chance to make a totally independent game which differs from the usual overplayed tropes, but instead they played it safe, and it's a real turnoff in my opinion. However, the Ukrainian-based developers of Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light seem to have improved in some sections from the game, but once again they seem to miss the overall point. If the game only has one mode available, it better be damn good. Metro Last Light should have been an awesome game filled with amazing enemies and an engaging story. Unfortunately, the visual problems, when coupled with the spotty campaign mode, makes Last Light an unfortunate letdown, which is not interesting and barely worth the playthrough. I think there is still a lot to look forward to if 4A can somehow fix their problems. They would have a fantastic post-apocalyptic game instead of what feels like a wasted opportunity overall.